Thursday, everybody. We are back. CiErra is back. You know, the holidays kind of threw us off a little bit, but we back in rotation. This is episode 5. First episode of the new year. CiErra over there fucking up them peanuts.
I know. It's been a long day.
Man, so I've had a pretty all right day. You know, I want everybody to pay attention to my haircut. I just got my haircut today. It looks awesome. If you've seen my inappropriate story today on Facebook, you were not supposed to see that. If we are Facebook friends, you are not supposed to see the inappropriate shit I put on the internet. It is not for the seasoned audience on Facebook. It is for my ratchet friends over on Instagram. And you know, Facebook, Meta, they be pissing me off because they put all of it together now. So like when you post on your story, it go on both platforms. And I don't be meaning to do that. And today I posted some cartoon that was talking about whenever you get your hair cut, you see titties.
I thought my mom was like, what is going on here with your friends here? I was like, gotta unfollow you.
Yo, so for all of my seasoned friends, you know, I do apologize, kind of, sort of, not really, a little bit. I do apologize, but I kind of don't apologize. It's an accident, you know. It's just all fun, you know. And as a man, you know, sometimes when you do get a haircut, you do see titties. One of my friends commented and was like, "I need to get my haircut."
So is it like it's like a calling?
It's like
you can light a candle.
You know, let me think of what the female equivalent would be. I guess, like, what is something, you know, when you go get, I guess, is it a new hairstyle? You get your nails done, you get your lashes done.
My nails done.
Like, you know what? It's that thing about you where it's like,
everything's like, when you get your nails done, it's like,
yeah, like I'm popping right now. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, whoever he or she is, whatever the case may be, they gonna notice me.
Yeah.
And for us, it's a lot more visible. So, you know what I'm saying? I might see some titties today.
Yeah.
You know, whatever the case may be. So that was the joke. I thought it was hilarious. And early in the morning when I'm on Instagram and I find things to be hilarious, I just cannot stop myself from sharing.
Yeah.
I want everybody to laugh at whatever it is I'm laughing at. And sometimes it's not the most appropriate. So.
Not for Facebook, not for family.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my grandma knows what's up.
I was going to say, my grandma is faithfully on Facebook.
My grandma is too.
Yeah,
like my grandma,
games and everything.
All my aunties and stuff, and you know, I appreciate them for like not putting me in a box because my grandma has unfollowed some of my cousins. Like she has unfollowed some of my cousins.
You made it.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't get online and be like cussing people out and like tripping. Oh, I forgot. I got off topic. Scan the QR code in the corner if you want your haircut to look as good as mine and you live in Houston. You just, you know.
And it's pretty good, though. You did a good job.
Yeah, you know that. Joe has been cutting my hair faithfully since I moved here.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah. It's been a long time. You know, he ain't never pushed me back. I got waves now. Like, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Miracle worker.
But back to my grandma. Some of my cousins, you know, like, you know, some of my family members, period, spaz out on Facebook. Like, Facebook, people say Facebook is the ghetto. It's like being in a neighborhood. You just see people outside, like, fighting and shit. Like, yeah, like, my cousins, they gonna take it there on Facebook. Like, you know, like, I don't fuck with you. Don't text me. Don't call me. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. They gonna air it out. And my grandma, she will unfollow you. Yeah, she will. After me's don't give a damn. She will unfollow you. Me's do not care. She don't play that.
I don't know what they got going on Facebook. I only get on there because I got work. That's the only reason I get on Facebook, because otherwise I would not.
I get on Facebook because, I mean, I get a lot of like political information on Facebook. A lot of the, you know, the politicals use Facebook to like communicate and stuff like that. But Facebook, just because I'm a millennial, is where I had always gone to be, like, you know, myself. Right, like I didn't really use Instagram at first because it was more like, you know, take a picture and stuff like that. I'm not really a big picture person, so I would use Facebook quite often, and that habit has just not changed like over the years. So I do use it like as far as me and business is concerned, like I haven't really gotten there with like Facebook, like using it as like a means to be able to like transact, stuff like that. Like, people promote their business and stuff on Facebook. I'm more of like an old school person in that regard. Like I'd rather do like in-person guerrilla marketing. I do understand the importance of digital marketing.
Yeah.
But like it's so flooded online. So like I think that it's almost like kind of like with the argument with the whole AI thing, like more in-person interaction. That has more value to me as far as like turning over like long-term customers than me like meeting people one-off on the internet. Now, like I do think that there is space for there to be relationships that have longevity that come through the internet, but as of right now,
it's also functioning. Social media also functions kind of like as a directory, especially on Facebook. Like a lot of people forego websites and use Facebook and have like a Facebook page, and then like the way the algorithm works too. If you're looking for something, you need to have something populating, that comes up, and then even all that shifting because of AI, the way people are searching for things now, hashtags are dying, and more long form text. It's like replacing that.
Yeah.
Keywords embedded in the description versus like hashtags. So everything's changing now with digital marketing. It's going very fast too. So if you're not like tapped in, keeping up with it,
it is happening quickly.
It's happening very quickly.
And they like because for people who don't use Reddit, like they're behind because the AI. It scrapes Reddit, like because Reddit is like the biggest. If you don't know, Reddit is like the biggest, like real life database of where you can go and find out what people feel about stuff in real life. So if anytime you get on AI and you type it and ask it something, Reddit is one of the main sources it's going to go to be able to find information to give you about whatever it is you're looking for, because people freely talk about their woes, their victories, everything on Reddit.
And focus groups, you just pay for that. Now people do it for free.
Yes. Like you go on Reddit, is like the biggest focus group in the world. So it is scraping Reddit and every other millions of websites out there for specific words that tie to your use case for it to then give you a solution for whatever it is you got going on. Yeah. And for me as a small business owner, like I sell that, I can do it, put stuff like that. But I genuinely think, like when I tell candidates on campaigns, spend money on field people. The internet is loud. It's a lot of noise. It's really, 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 really loud. And people are tired of the technology. Yeah. Like people are like, no more tech. Like, please, no more tech. Yeah. Please, no more tech. Like, do something real. Do something that I can feel. Yeah. And the people who are trying to sell stuff, the people who are like creating these experiences for people to go, especially because people are so lonely now. Whenever you create a real world experience, it gains a lot of traction because people want to feel communal. The internet, though we are like more connected, we're more isolated because we stay like we be in, motherfuckers be in a room. You get on the stream, everybody in their living room, and they'll bring like one person or two people over, and they just sitting in there, but they just in there by themselves. Yeah.
I will say though, I think you need both. Because I feel like digital is what beat Dwight Boykins' ass.
No. That is not.
Honestly, I think so.
I'm going to say this on record right now. That is not what beat Dwight. It is not what beat Dwight.
And I love Dwight. I'm not saying that as
no. I love Dwight too, but it's not what beat Dwight. What beat Dwight was that like Dwight did not have a successful rebrand after he ran for mayor. That's what beat Dwight.
I guess he tried to come in without like keeping in touch with the people.
Like I think that was a part of it too, but that incident with them young ladies, that was a big blow.
But they got all of those ass pushing out talking about he was MAGA.
Yeah, I mean, but like no,
know that.
So I don't necessarily.
No one knows who she is.
No one knows who she is, and I don't think that is. I don't necessarily think that is the case. But like the Chronicle did like a hit piece on that boy, and was like, "You remember him?" And like people kept coming back to that, like, "Hey, do you remember him?
Yeah.
You remember him?"
That's what they used to justify the.
Yes.
And I'm like, they're not the same thing. Like your uncle probably say the same thing.
And then on top of that,
not to say I agree with it, I'm just saying.
But on top of that, he did build a bipartisan coalition of people to be able to vote for him. So that, and especially we're in a very politically polarized time, so you can't toe the line right now.
People were saying that too when I was talking to people just like out and about. They were like, but he has Republican supporters. I'm like, he was in city council. You don't think he has Republican friends?
Yeah, but people don't.
But
people don't really think about it like that, because we are like, number one, government is not given to us in a way, especially black people. It's not given to us in a way where you would thinking about it. You'll think about it like, what is the government as a whole doing for me? So it puts you in a very partisan mindset. Yeah. So like he operating as like somebody who is gonna govern in a holistic perspective.
I wish she kind of would have won.
That's not the moment though.
She would have. I mean, it's not the.
That's not the moment.
It's not socially, the theater aspect of
that's
it.
That's not. Nah, I mean, like right now where we are socially, hell nah. You better pick a side. Pick a goddamn side. If you do not pick a side, you are out of there. Yeah. You can't be in the middle. Like moderates, they don't really get a lot of love right now. You got to be extreme on either side. I mean, and that's how they got Hitler. I'm just gonna put that out there. But you got to be extreme on either side. Like, so everything is very politically divisive, and he ran a middle of the road campaign, and she played to her strengths. One, it is hard for men to beat women. Yeah. It's hard.
You mean on the local level?
Yeah, on all levels. It is hard. It is hard.
Like we can disagree on that.
We can look it up.
I mean, Kamala.
That, like.
Okay. Hillary.
Nah, okay. Hold up. Like the Kamala
you think Jasmine gonna win?
The Kamala thing, I think that James Tyler Rico got his motherfucking work cut out for him. Because sisters,
he was his own Jubilee.
Sisters voting for sisters.
Yeah. I don't know who I'm gonna vote for.
You see what happened with Amanda and Jolanda? Somebody was like, "Oh, Jolanda might endorse Christian." Are you dumb? Yeah. Why would she do that? Why, as a black woman, right? And I think they're both K's. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, let's just take it Greek, right? They both K's, and the K's gonna endorse a Q. What the other K's gonna say about her? And then take it to black women. Yeah. You a sister, and you picked a man over a sister. Do you hate women? Do you hate yourself? Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense. Yeah. So, like, in a lot of races, because women are the majority who vote, right? Like, so when you think about like the presidential, it's a little bit different, because
on the local level,
like, because one, the Democrats fucked the Kamala shit up. They fucked that up. They weren't gonna win that. There was not a path to victory. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Y'all can see me right now. You can see me. I don't give a damn what you say or what they say or what she say. None of you motherfuckers knew that she was gonna win. None of you honestly believe that. And I'm not finna keep. None of you believe that. Like there was no path to victory for that lady. They set her up.
I was really hoping
Hillary Clinton.
I was really. I'm still agreeing with that.
Hillary Clinton, like, that wasn't the time. That wasn't the time. Like, I believe she did like a little better, like, but she a white lady. Then you got to think about like
the Clintons,
right? And then she had just whatever the Somali thing and all of that stuff, and the Clinton Foundation and all of that. Like, they, you know what I'm saying? And white people, they were white people against white people too. They don't give a damn. Yeah. Like you remember the Salem witch trials? they was doing that to each other. You know what I mean? So
to
like
women, but yeah.
Right. You feel what I'm saying? So like that's a little bit more convoluted. But when we talking about on like, you know, in the state, like around here, talking about like, you know, like local government stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
Like on
women
the
are
local
coming
level,
up on
yeah.
the federal
I don't know
level.
about.
Think about it. Like look at like in Dallas, had Jasmine stayed and like ran for one of them seats, she'd be all them dudes. And I'm like, I've heard a lot about the pastor Freddie Haynes.
But he got a higher name ID too.
But I'm saying like
she's gonna beat James, I think, off name ID.
If you are, it's hard. Okay, I'm gonna be more specific. It is hard to beat black women, and it's equally as hard to beat women of color. But it is hard to beat black women
right now.
Yeah. Like the tide changed.
I would love to see some stats on that.
Like the tide changed, like completely. Like
oh shoot, I forgot I had this meeting today.
For what?
For the community engagement.
Oh snap!
I so forgot about that. Snap. I know.
It'd be like
it's
that.
over now. That was supposed to be at 6:30.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that. You just gotta go back in and be like, hey y'all, life happened. Just volunteer, bro. Give yourself some grace. You're trying.
If anybody watching, I'm sorry, y'all.
You are trying, but it is like
driving.
We can go. I mean, we can look it up. Like we can look it up. It is. I mean, like, if you can see the recent trends of like people who have been elected, like who is being elected in our region, like especially like different places across the South. We have more female mayors now, especially like black female mayors, things like that. Like it is definitely changing, like drastically.
So, what do you think the political future is going to be?
I mean, I think that. Well, one, I think it is going to, because now we're at like polar extremes. So I think it is definitely going to like shrink back into the middle and become a lot more moderate at a point in time, because we're going to have to figure out how to govern, period. Like we can't govern from the ends of the poles. We can't do that. So we're going to have to figure out how to govern.
I think Marjorie Green is trying to do that because she knows that? Because her viewpoints recently have been kind of.
She's like, I watched the news article the other day about they called him the QAnon Shaman dude. Remember the dude during January 6th? He had the skin over him with the horns and stuff, with the thing. So he was on CNN,
like him,
and he was like, he don't support Donald Trump. Like that guy is not, you know, who he said he was. Blah blah blah. XYZ ABC.
Are you still a Trump supporter?
No. I thought you knew that.
Why not?
The man alone refusing to release the Epstein client list was enough for me, and I think a lot of other people, to be like, okay, this is bullshit.
So there are a lot of people in that camp who are like breaking rank because they feel as though, you know, the president isn't doing what he said he was going to do. There's a lot of stuff, you know, they don't like that he's doing. And I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, she like echoes that. But I don't really know what, I don't know what. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, she went to Congress. I don't know her constituency, right? My favorite quote is like, I don't mind women's business because I don't really understand what's going on over there. Like, so I don't mind white people business because I have no idea what's going on in white America. Like, I really don't. I just see like white people being like, shit is unfair for me. It's not fair for me. Like, and I'm white, and this ain't cool because shit should be fair for me. And they're like, it's not, it's unfair. Like, black people getting jobs, they let Mexicans and Venezuelans and all these people coming here and work, and I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm white and I'm poor. What the fuck is going on? Like, why is this happening to me? And I'm like, shit. Okay, white people. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I don't think there's been a time since like Reconstruction for real where white people have felt disenfranchised. Like, because
I mean, they've been feeling that way since the American Revolutionary War. Like I feel like the play has always been make the poor whites feel as if the real enemy is not them, like not the elite. I mean, it's always been the play. America's like founded on that same play, and it just keeps going and going and going and going.
You know, I don't differentiate between poor whites and rich whites.
We don't have to.
Well, I'm saying, like, because I just feel like
there is a difference.
It's like, yeah, I mean, like, I think the financial difference is one thing, but like whiteness as a concept is something that they all share. Like, and so whether they
it
are
was
like
created so that you don't differentiate, so that the lower class, because it's all of this, everything is all around like, you know, money, right? Like you already know, keeping power. So they're not going to differentiate between them two. They want especially the poor whites. They think they're like the rich whites, so that they can make the enemy other than them, the elite. And it's always been the same place since the founding of America. What was that? What was that battle? Not Bunker Hill. Starts with a B. It was a rebellion where the slaves, the poor whites, and the Americans got together and they revolted against the rich.
I know
That's been the same play.
Like, was it? But I feel like
over and over again.
So like, there are, and I've been listening to like the Malcolm X speeches and shit like this week. There are white people who are cool, right? Not taking that away. But I feel like if this is all the white people in America, like this circle, it's all the white people in America. Like, if I could put the tip of my pinky finger in this hole like this many white people is the cool white people, and like this many white people is the ones who are not cool.
Bacon's rebellion. Sorry.
Oh yes. Is it Thomas Bacon? What's his first name? Bacon. Nathaniel Bacon. I remember Nathaniel Bacon. So like, as far as like for the progress of other people who are not white, right? I do think that in an economic struggle, which is what we're talking about, right, with Bacon's rebellion, because those white people were indentured servants. So you had the indentured servants who were being treated poorly, but not as poor as the slaves were being treated. But they wanted their like economic freedoms. So they came together and they rebelled.
Burned out Jamestown.
So in our time though, like there is, like white people are afforded a level of economic mobility now that they weren't before. And we are not afforded that level of economic mobility.
Why were they afforded that? Because of that rebellion, the elite decided, you know what? You're like us.
Well, I think that,
and so they're afforded that mobility through their whiteness. But it's only because they defined it so that they won't. They're afforded a certain level of mobility, but they're not ever going to get to where the elite is. And that's the trick. That's the play.
I mean, well, you can look at Jamie. Look at Jamie.
I don't think we're disagreeing too much. I'm just saying that it's just the.
Well, I think
it's the play.
So I think where it's going like is, so like white people are like, all right, cool. Right now, like, they had the DEI and all this other kind of stuff. And like they take stuff. And whether you're a poor white or whether you're like wealthy white or whatever the case may be, you feel as though like that, it's hard for me to be white in America. Because I remember I was talking to one of my customers, and like I was playing, like, we was talking about a topic similar to this, and I was playing devil's advocate, right? And it was about, right, like the video, right? They was talking about now I don't gotta apologize for being white no more, right? Right? Like now I can be white, right? It's cool. What's up, Don? How you doing, man? Good to see you, baby. Happy New Year. Now I don't gotta apologize for being white no more. Right? Like I can just be a white person. I can feel how white people feel. I can say what white people say, you know what I mean? Like, cause I was watching the YouTube about this place in West Virginia, and they were saying like that these white people out there in the hills, they say nigger openly. Right? And he was on the YouTube video, like this area was called the nigger holler. And at a point in time, they was killing niggas on the porch. They was saying like this place in West Virginia, this is the only place, only one nigga ever made it out of there. And he was a pastor, and it was like 1886, and they got niggas in the walls of this tunnel that you got to go through to get to their town and shit like that. And where was I going with this? Shit. That
about being safe and white. Safety in your whiteness now.
Right. So like these are poor whites, and they are like, dude was like, would you rather have like a white neighbor or a black neighbor? She was like, I don't want no nigga living near me.
But
like,
you're just proving the point though, what I'm trying to make, which is that the illusion of whiteness is what is stopping everyone from rallying with each other. Because the illusion of whiteness makes you feel as if, okay, but at least I'm not that. Or I have a little bit more mobility because I'm this. But it's all an illusion.
Well, so, I mean,
an illusion.
But they have literally been fighting for like the same, like, so before, when they came over here, it was white people fighting against white people because the white people made them feel like they weren't worth what they felt like they was worth.
Agreed.
So they all got on boats and they came over here.
Agreed.
And then they was all like, some of them had money and some of them didn't, but they all came here to like build something. And they did not, like, right? And then they, the ones who didn't have no money, they had to work for the ones that had some money, but then they was passing out and dying and shit. And they was like, we got to figure out how to make the business better. So then they went and got Africans and then, slavery, such and such.
Not before they killed the Native Americans.
Yeah. But I don't feel as though the non-rich white people really felt disconnected from the rich white people, other than like maybe your granddaddy found some rocks and he was able to sell them, and I ain't figured out how to do it yet. Cause I used to watch all the movies.
I think there was a disconnect. One, you have whiteness in itself took a whole bunch of people from different places and labeled them underneath this color. Because those people weren't all from the same place. You had people come from different places in Europe. So they weren't all. So I think there was a disconnect. I don't think the connecting factor came in until they decided to call themselves white.
Well, I'm thinking contextually, I'm thinking about like the white people who came over here, like because Christopher Columbus, he was from Portugal. I don't really know what to do with all of that,
he
right?
was in Hispaniola.
Like, right.
So
but I'm talking about the people who came over here, started Jamestown and shit. Like
the Dutch.
Them. Like they identified as like white. Like they were white. At least.
But that identification didn't come to after Bacon's Rebellion. It didn't come to like 1619, like after all that. It was like 1619 and decided to call themselves white after that. After the poor white people and the black people were teaming up together. I believe there was a specific instance with what's his name? His name starts with John, but I can't remember his last name. There was a slave and an indentured servant, white guy, right? And they both ran away together. But when they came back and got caught, the white guy got punished, but the black guy became the first slave to have like a lifelong sentence. And that's where race started. It didn't start because these people were just, all white and they just what they call themselves. Of course, people are not blind. They can see the difference in skin tones. But whiteness as a concept, blackness as a concept, those things came out of the need to divide these two groups from connecting with one another. So there's a 1619, look that up.
It's right here.
Oh, yeah.
I looked it up after what happened.
After what happened?
Yeah, for sure.
So it was deliberate. Like the division was deliberate, and it's the same play they're doing over and over and over again. And I feel like people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't know if it's genuine or not, but it's like, I'm not really getting what I thought I was going to get. And the reason why you thought you was going to get that is because you were lining up with your whiteness. And your whiteness was now allowing you to see what Trump was saying that he was going to do and what Project 25 said it was going to do. Because in your mind, you think you're going to get more out of it than because you're white. Basically, you just lined up with your whiteness. You didn't really think about your class standing or who was going to really impact. You were just thinking about your whiteness. And that was a play that they created way back in the 1600s. Like, line up with your whiteness, not with your social standing or your economic standing or your family standing or what's going to actually benefit, like, the people. It was more about what's going to benefit the elite. They didn't really see it that way. I think that it's a continued cycle.
Well, I can't disagree, right? I cannot. I just feel like, and these are my feelings because she's clearly right, but I feel like.
Hold on. We got to pause for a second. I've been knowing Christian almost, 17, 18 years now?
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. This nigga ain't never called me right.
That's cap. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. I will agree when I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll be like I'm wrong.
I'm happy it's on camera.
I will agree that I'm wrong. I don't have a problem saying I'm wrong. I'm wrong, like, for sure. But like, I like the the way that whiteness is ingrained in our society. Like, and even when I read, right, like, okay, this is what I'm saying. Like, 'cause, yes, that is correct. But when I read, like, history, it is hard for me to understand that, like, after this moment in time, this is when they decided that they was white, right? Because before they even came over here, they was acting white. When they was over in Europe, they was acting white.
I get what you're saying.
When they went to China and all them other kind of places doing the Silk Road.
Imperialism.
Yeah,
I mean, about imperialism. You're talking about colonial. You know,
we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like I think where I'm drawing a line at, right, when it comes down to whiteness and imperialism, right? Whiteness became a justification for the imperialism, but imperialism, yes, that was occurring before, like domination, world takeover, all that. Like pinky and brain stuff, you know, going to countries and colonizing and, you know, doing all the stuff they were doing. Yes, that existed beforehand. But the justification of those actions, especially like over here in America, it became about whiteness. The Protestant reform too was a big part of that. Manifest destiny, like all those things that we learned in sociology class. Right,
like Make America Great Again.
That's just another
rendition of it, right? But
that's what I'm saying. It's the same.
But like
going back to my initial class, it's the same.
But when I go back,
the beginning of America.
But when we go back, like the Romans did it,
but not under the guise of whiteness.
I mean, but that's what but
whiteness is.
But they knew the Romans went to Africa. So the Romans went to Africa and they enslaved the more brown people. The white people from Europe came here and they killed and enslaved the more brown people. Was
it because they were brown? Was it because they felt them was inferior because they were brown? Or was that a justification that came out of the 1600s?
Now that right there,
distinction. I think.
Well, where I am when I go back, because I'm thinking throughout history, this idea of how whiteness is pushed out into the ether, and we all have these white codes, right? That if you're a rich white, you get to do this. If you're a counter rich white, you get to do this. If you're a poor white, you could be a counter rich white, or you could be a rich white. It just, because you can get on the ladder. It's just that we don't like you now, right? Like J.D. Vance, he a hillbilly, and they hate him. You know what I mean? They on the thing. They was they got white niggas. He was there are white niggas and there are black niggas. And they was I use nigger freely. And it just means somebody that's dumb and ignorant. It don't got nothing to do with color. Now, that's tone deaf as a motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense. But there's this justification for white behavior, right, that I see playing out throughout history, because whenever I do read and hear stories about people who are white, doing things to other people who are not white, or they may be white adjacent, because I can't holistically say that the Romans were white. I wasn't there, I didn't see them. And I don't really know what that society looks like, but I know that society went into places where there were people who were darker than them because of the way the world is set up, and they gave those people harsh lives. And that is similar to what we, you got the the American slavery Negro, we're descendants of a system of that kind of behavior. So that is why, Like, yes, Nathaniel Bacon. I remember we learned about all these white people growing up.
Some people talk about we didn't learn stuff at school. I'm like, no, niggas, y'all weren't listening.
Y'all weren't listening because
sociology.
Nathaniel Bacon. I remember thinking.
Studies. I remember thinking, like,
why?
I love social studies.
Why all these niggas ain't just crash out? Mm-hmm. I used to remember thinking that all the time. You know, you growing up, you in school, you be like, man, if I was, but we didn't learn a lot about niggas crashing out though. Mm-hmm. We learned a lot about like boys, like we see the movie, they run away, they get caught, and they go, oh man, boss, I'm sorry, and then them niggas lose a leg or a foot or some shit like that, and then they spirit broke. That's what they showed us. Mm-hmm. They didn't show these niggas crashing out. Like,
that's crazy. You know, I remember learning, I think I was in 2nd, 3rd grade about Estacio, who came over here with Cabeza de Vaca. He was a slave that gave him the map to come here. I learned that in 2nd grade. Who? He was a slave. His name is Estacio. I can't remember his first name.
I remember that too.
But Cabeza de Vaca, head of a cow. He was a Spanish explorer. He came out here with a slave, gave him the guide to get here. And I learned that in 2nd grade. So sometimes I'd be wondering, like, did we not learn, or did we not like ask more questions? Were we like, because I remember that.
We were taught,
and this is the white teacher teaching me.
But we were taught like pieces, right? Yeah. Like we were taught pieces. Like I was just on Instagram, and there's a pastor somewhere in the South who, in his sermon, rewrote how slavery ended. Mm-hmm. He rewrote that, right? You know what I mean? So like, there is no, like, I was talking on my last episode, I was talking about Father Divine and Daddy Grace and like all of these like religious figures that they have been written off as like crazy or, you know, anti-God or whatever the case may be. But these black people did amazing things in this country, and none of us know about them because we have religious differences. But why the fuck does that matter? This nigga was awesome. You see what I'm saying? He was fucking dope. The kids should know how dope he was. Yeah. If we know how dope Jay-Z is, LeBron James is, I should know about Robert Johnson, who was a slave, who went to the north, was going to the north, stole a goddamn slave ship. You feel what I'm saying? He stole, I can't remember the slave ship, but this nigga stole a ship and took it up the coast and it became a captain and then went back to South Carolina and became like a senator or some shit like that. No one ever taught us about him. Yeah. No one ever taught us about the iron workers, the Geechee people from South Carolina. We don't know. We don't know about. There's so many aspects of blackness that we are just not privy to. Yeah. The sciences, the arts, like, yeah, we know about hip hop and shit like that, but like the things that really instill pride. They ain't like they weren't gonna teach us that shit. Yeah, they're not gonna be able to.
But they glossed over it. Honestly. I feel like that was even glossed over when I learned it, but it was interesting to me, you know. So I think I went and looked at, and that's what we're really not taught too. It's critical thinking, because I remember, like, I can recall this learning happening when I was in 2nd grade. It was like 2nd or 3rd grade, and I remember reading that he was a slave, and I was like, what? I remember having that question and then going to go look some more. And when we used to have those world books, y'all know if y'all remember those world encyclopedias. They all had different. Yeah. I used to love reading those books. So it's like the curiosity, you know what I'm saying? It's critical thinking. It's like asking more questions, like asking like, okay, so there's a black person here in this book, but I haven't heard anything else about blackness here. What power did this person hold in this place? Now, I probably wasn't saying those exact words at that time, but my mind is processing.
But the teacher, like that, like I said it on the last show, there's this guy in Detroit. He used to work for me. I was working for the Progressive Turnout Project. My Dev Desai. My Dev used to teach like an Indian history class in the community center in his community. Yes. Kind of like Brother Deloitte. Right? Like, that's important.
How's he doing too? I know they rebuilding shapes.
I mean, I be seeing them online and stuff like that. You look like you're doing good, you know, getting older. So, but still, there needs to be like people our age being like, yo, this is important. Yeah. Right now, I get it. Life is hard. We struggling, all of the other kind of shit. But if our children don't know about themselves, it's not a lot for them to stand on as far as like being proud about where they come from.
Yeah.
Like the thing about whiteness is they work real hard to make sure that everybody is proud to be white.
Yeah.
They work really hard at that.
Mm-hmm.
We had it for a little bit. I'm black and I'm proud. Now it's, nigga, I'm gonna hit your bitch. I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
In the war.
You know what I mean? Like, and bitch, you ain't shit.
I do my best when I see a gender war conversation, go over there and be like, nigga, people dying. Go in the comments. I'm like, no, you're not arguing about this when there's a government takeover happening right now. Y'all arguing about submission. Y'all crazy.
But
tangent, yeah.
I was listening to, I think it was John Hope Bryant. Be saying, poor people talk about people. Wealthy people talk about ideas. Our community as a whole is like poor in spirit.
Yeah.
Jubilant people, creative people, loving people. But as far as like our community and things that are going to feed us and nurture us so that we can live lives that are beneficial to us, we don't get that. We ain't never had that. We don't have the time. Like you think about a white boy or a white girl, when they graduate from high school, they get to go to Europe, run around, and do shit. Whenever I meet niggas that do that, I be like, you going where? To do what? I told one of my partners I wanted to get a pilot's license. He was like, nigga, what's wrong with you? Why you just want to do stuff?
You said that for real?
Yeah. Like, but you can't blame niggas like that though. Like you can't blame them because we don't have access to freedom. And I think that's my point about like the division between like poor whites and like rich whites is like whiteness to them is freedom. It don't matter what I could be a fucking heroin addict on the street, dirty. I could not have teeth on the back of the side of my mouth and shit like that. But if I get off a dope, I go to a church, a pastor say I'm cool now. There's a white man in that community that owns like a plumbing something, and he gonna make me an apprentice. You feel what I'm saying? Where a nigga got to go for that? Ain't nowhere in the hood where it's a nigga that owns an electrician company or something, and he's servicing all the houses, and he got young boys out there being electricians, assistants, and shit like that. That's not happening around here. But in whiteness, it don't matter what degree of whiteness you in, you get that.
I feel like you've already answered this question though within this, so or why that is. It's because white people make sure they know that you're proud. I mean, they do that through history, like how they tell history. They do that through media and representation. They do that through like I don't know how they go into countries and say we deserve oil when they don't. Like
kidnapping presidents,
kidnapping presidents, and saying that they're entitled to that. So they have religions that back them up and say that they are, almighty and powerful. So we know why. No matter what, you could be a crackhead in jail and think you better than. And I remember I went to jail once. Went to jail. I had tickets. This is the crazy thing. I had tickets.
Going to jail for tickets.
It's stupid.
Going to jail for tickets.
And
crazy.
This is the night I graduated from getting my master's from TSU.
Damn.
They pulled me over from the pool party. We was about to get ready to go out to Grooves. And they let me put a shirt on, thank God. And then it was like, if I didn't have my body cam on, I would let you go. Because it was just tickets. Stupid. So I get to jail, get processed, whatever. I'm about to leave, get out. There was this girl in there who was a heroin addict. And there was another girl in there who was trying to convince her to go get drugs for her when they left. Old girl was in there talking about how she the strip club to go to so they could go make some money. And there was another girl, and I'm just eavesdropping. Another girl that had mentioned her a club. She said, there's black girls in there. And I'm like, you're a heroin addict.
I told you.
Black club.
What? Niggas? What? Like, what? I'm not going around with them niggas. I'm not doing that.
And I'm black. I've never seen heroin a day in my life. For tickets. And she thinks she better. And I just got my master's. She still thinks she better than me.
Yeah, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. Like it does not matter, and that is the most infuriating thing. That's why when I'm telling you, like, yo, we just gotta do it. Fuck if they see it. Fuck if they send the feds. I don't care because when are we gonna be like, you know what? Fuck this.
That's
I'm out of here.
But you know what? That's a lot to ask. Like, I think that the real conversation we need to have is about what you're asking of people. There's a few things that happened, like in the past 10 years. When before Trump got in office, I remember when he was running, there's this group, they're Huru. It's like a political group. They're like Black Pan-Africanists, whatever. And the leader was talking about how they wanted a Trump presidency because it will collapse America, and that's what needs to happen. They were actually advocating for that. They were saying they were against Bernie because Bernie wasn't for reparations, and which I think one of the failures is that a lot of people were going up against challenging Bernie about reparations and things like that. And I'm like, I kind of feel like that had a lot to do with. Well, anyways, that's a tangent.
I mean, I got my own thoughts about Bernie.
There's a tangent on Bernie.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, Bernie,
that's an episode.
Bernie's something else.
That's an episode. But they were saying that, and I can see kind of like the trajectory of that downfall of America from that moment. They weren't wrong.
Yeah.
What happened?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay. They weren't wrong. Like, Trump getting in office did lead to the collapse. America's collapsing. But another thing that happened in this past election, where I was seeing a similar conversation happening, if that he got in office is good because it's going to send us into a revolution. And I feel like that forced anarchy, I guess is the word that you would use. It's like a force. I just don't think that people are really acknowledging that you're sacrificing things. Like, I went when George Floyd died, I was like, oh, this country about to go in a direction that I'm not sure if I'm ready for. You know, when Trump got elected, I felt that same feeling again, like displacement, hunger, death. This is what we're up against when we're talking about the revolution. This is what we're up against when we're talking about like standing up and fighting. And don't get me wrong, I am not saying that like it doesn't need to happen, like there shouldn't be some type of revolution. But is it possible to imagine something different coming out of this than war? Is it possible that I don't have to fear losing my family in order for us to get to that future? You know, is that possible?
I don't think at this point it'll be like war like as we know it. It's gonna be like some kind of like cyber thing.
Because niggas got drones.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what people are really thinking about when they talking about stand up and go on the streets. These niggas got drones.
It's gonna be a cyber thing. But I think
who we fighting?
But I do, so to answer your question, I don't think that there is a peaceful way for this to be resolved. But I do think that the conversation needs to be had that like, right, like being a black nationalist is okay, right? The Klan is rebranding. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
The Klan is rebranding. So if you, as a Negro person, cannot stand up,
the Klan is accepting Negro applications.
No, they like the Klan, the dude, the guy, he not even called the Grand Wizard no more. They rebranded so clean, that boy called the National Director. He is the National Director. They do not allow nobody, but they are trying to protect white heritage. They are trying to instill in younger whites that it is okay. Yes. That it is okay. Yes. Yes, man. I'm just like, yo, if we are in a place where the Klan they're doing a rebrand.
Did you see that movie with Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter? There's a movie where he plays an undercover like agent who infiltrates the KKK. And I feel like if no one's seen it, you need to go see it. Imperium. Good movie. Imperium.
I'm gonna watch it. Okay, they neo-Nazi thriller. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it. I mean, but
Good movie.
this is right. Like, that's what white pride look like, right? And I'm not saying for all white people, but white people have made it cool within their diaspora for them to talk about how it's cool to be white and how we gotta fight for whiteness and how we gotta protect whiteness.
Yeah.
So Negroes, right? Like, I get it. Integration is cool. You get to go to the Galleria. Okay? That's fine. If you like that kind of shit. You get to go to where white people eat food. That's cool. Right? You know what I mean? Like, white people make good food. I'm not saying that, I'm not
We live
saying
in
that.
Houston. I think that's a biased opinion.
But, I mean, like, I've been to some Louisiana restaurants that are owned by white people. And that food crazy.
Louisiana.
I just
That's
said white
still
people.
biased.
That food good. That food, I never thought, I didn't
Now, have you been to Oklahoma?
No, that shit ass. That shit's ass. But like white people in Louisiana are different.
Louisiana, Houston.
They different.
I mean,
they are different. But all I'm saying is, right, Dr. Brown said all the time that niggas feel like white ice is colder. And that's the truth. Like, it's the truth. But also we gotta take ownership of the things that we lack in the community, especially in like a business sense and stuff like that. Like, there has to be, like, the Negroes who figured out how to do and conduct business in a way that is satisfactory to consumers. It don't matter what your race is, need to mentor Negroes who want to go into business so that they can be proficient. So it doesn't matter if you're black or whatever the case may be. If the shit is good, the shit is good. You know what I mean? Like, and that is that there is a big thing, especially because back in the day, like our grandparents, they didn't go out to restaurants and stuff like that. They didn't have that luxury. They weren't able to do that. So, like, this is new. Like, right when I used to wait tables, used to be this thing called the Black Five. And you know the Black Five. I mean, I remember the first time I heard about the Black Five, I was fucking flabbergasted. You racist sons of bitches. What? Yeah. I always tip more than $5. But when I became a waiter, I remember it was a table full of niggas, man. It was a table full of niggas. And they ordered like $400 worth of food. Them niggas gave me $20.
And
I had to pay for that.
I'm about to just say this. This is what people don't understand about being a server. You gotta pay tip pool, which is sometimes 5 to 10%.
Dog.
So if you undertip me, I'm paying for your food.
I'm paying for your stay. But this ain't something that we like talk about, right? Like, like they got like Jack and Jill etiquette classes for like uppity niggas and shit like that, and that's fine. But like, if we want the race to be uplifted, everybody need to know which fork to use. Everybody need to know what spoon to use.
But I feel like to say that while also talking about black nationalism is kind of like a contradiction.
Well, no, I mean, like, we live here.
But I mean, it's like, that's white standards.
But like, we live in an integrated society. I'm saying be proud of who you are, right? Be proud of who you are, know your heritage, stand in that. But we live in an integrated society. And like it or not, we have adopted these rules to live by. And if you want to play the game, you want to play the money game, you want to play the law game.
You've been reading W.B. Du Bois?
I've been reading, what's his name? I've been reading Charles Woodson. That's the cornerback for the damn Raiders. Carter G. Woodson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The miseducation of the Negro. And I've been listening to Malcolm X. The Malcolm X stuff. And I've been listening to a lot of different perspectives on like blackness and what space we should take up and stuff like that. And what is this Bible verse? Where I put it on?
Yeah,
it's Proverbs something. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So know who you are. Be proud of who you are. Because that will create community amongst people. Right? Because that's why we're friends. Because we met each other, we knew that we was like-minded, and we bonded. That is true for all people. But we have to create a safe space for people who feel differently than we do, who come up differently than we do, but they would like a chance at like some kind of progression. Like, so we have to be able to make space for that. Like, And also understanding that like this system that we have subjected ourselves to, that who our ancestors have subjected us to, that we're living in, is not something that we can change overnight. So if we want our children and our children's children to be able to play the game the way that it's supposed to be played, we got to give them the tools to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. And knowing that, like when I first started working in politics, I felt like fucking slave, nigga. I didn't know shit. I'm around here with all these people making all these money, eating
like the double consciousness,
all these restaurants and stuff, and it's everything different. You know what I mean? Like you gotta, like that's being black in America. Like, and that is the harsh truth of it. Mm-hmm. Like you gotta understand how to operate in our world and in their world. You gotta know.
That's what I was asking the W.E. Boys, because he talks about the double consciousness.
Like you gotta. Nah, I can't fuck with him like that.
But you saying you
like,
speaking from his book.
Like, but these are my organic thoughts.
Yeah, he's speaking from his book.
I don't cut with bro like for.
But he like the rest of his life he moved to Africa. He said F this.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm sure he got tired.
I'm tired of it.
Like he got tired. But that's just a realization that I came to on my own. Mm-hmm. Like he is, you know, like we should be able to be ourselves.
Yeah, we should.
But at the same time, like, what is that like? So we should be able to be ourselves.
It's
but
kind of
like,
hard for us to know what ourselves is
yes.
within this system, like or what it is organically. I feel like that as a woman too. Like sometimes it's hard to understand what is my desires outside of what the patriarchy
like
has
what you have been programmed
to understand. But I do think there's remnants of like who we were before we came here. Like you hear it in drums, you see it when you know when you go to church, you see it when we're dancing in the streets. Yeah. You see it when we make our clothes and choose our fashion. So you see the remnants of who we are, you know, all throughout not only our culture, but it's leaked over into American culture too. So I think we know who we are, and like if we really think about it, we do know who we are. For sure. You know what I mean? And I think the issue does come in when we're trying to figure out what's the best strategy to stay here. I think we are always trying to figure out how to exist here, and that's the bullshit. That's just the bullshit because we know who we are, you know, and we're limited on being that, you know, like in the workplace we have to, especially if you want to make some kind of money, unless you gotta Carter G. Woodson saying, I'm sitting there thinking like, dang, I don't know if I can work see this podcast. We gotta white nigga all up and through this. I ain't got no job. I work and I love my people I work with, but Lord. Because like, dog, like, you can't be just free, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we know what we can't be free. We've already talked about at the beginning of this podcast. Like, because the elite want their money. They want their power. Oh, that's what I was saying. Carter G. Woodson was saying, right, like, in the book, he was saying that there was this chick, I think she was Hispanic or something like that, and she was like going to school, and going to school was a little bit too tough for her. But her mama operated a fruit stand on the corner. She dropped out of school and went to sold fruit. Long story short, she became very wealthy. Right? That's one thing, one example. How did she become wealthy? Because she learned how to make a living for herself. Like, we can go to school, we can learn, we can read books. There's some gaps in there, but yeah, keep going. I mean, like, that's it. Like, she kept selling fruit. Like, she kept buying low and selling high, saving her money. That's it. Nobody really teaches us that. There's gaps in that. I mean, like, think about it. All right, let's go to the dude that made Costco, right? Bro don't got no college degree. Nothing. No. He went and bought some printers, put it in a room, and told people that he'll charge them 10 cents per print. He a multi-millionaire. We got more letters behind our name than he do. I'm sure there. Okay, so then this is why I said there's gaps in there, because that's just such a high level view of what happened. I'm sure there's more things that happen within that process, and I feel like only speaking to the high level kind of creates like an illusion, or you know, like. So the reason I disagree
is because I know that it is literally that simple. Like
Scalability, things like that.
Because if you you gotta think about it. Like in this, like if you set up a hot dog stand in the summertime in Florida Zoo, all you need to know how to do is count your hot dogs and your condiments and be able to add and subtract. You don't really gotta do no multiplication.
But that ain't gonna make you rich. It's gonna make you a profit.
It can make
but it ain't gonna make you rich. What makes you rich? I'm not saying you gotta go to school to be rich.
Buying more than one hot dog stand.
It's scalability.
Right.
I'm not saying that you gotta go to school to be rich. But there is, in all things that we do, there's consulting happening. Whether or not we're going to college or to like a formal education, that's one thing. But having like a person to the left or the right of you, or even above you, consulting with you.
But if she went and worked for her mother, the fruit stand, she left school and then went and worked for her mother. Her mother taught her how to make a living.
So there's education in
like,
there.
So,
you know what I mean? So there's like pieces in there that you got to acknowledge too.
Well, I mean,
It's not so blanket. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that, like leaving that part out of the story sometimes.
I see that. Like she left college and she went back and worked with her mama. And
no, I'm saying like framing the whole conversation, framing the whole story with that piece. Like it's not that she just went and did something she liked to do and she made money. No, she went and learned from her mother how to sell fruit, and she took that business and then multiplied it.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. I'm putting that out there is because young niggas don't have that opportunity. You can't sell candy at school. Can't do that.
Yeah, they did. It's only that because a lot of kids do. But even if they did, there's no scalability.
I mean, bullshit.
So what you gonna do? Gonna create like more in other schools?
Yeah.
Have a reading to do that?
Yeah. If you think about it, they would allow the kids to be able to have their own commerce in school. Mm-hmm. Some of them gonna do it. Some of them not. That's business. Mm-hmm. But at least they have the opportunity while young. Because you think about it, most of us, most of our parents, they don't have the opportunity. They didn't have the opportunity to be entrepreneurial. Mm-hmm. They didn't have the opportunity to show us how to make a living outside of going to go learn these things that are predetermined for us to learn that don't actually apply to us when we grow up and get into the real world. People always say, well, I didn't learn how to do my taxes. Well, I didn't learn how to do this, like stuff. But like if you grow up in a family that does business, you get close to proximity to stuff like that. But our children and everybody else in between,
that's the piece of it too,
we don't get any of that exposure because of because of the way the system is set up for us. And not being able to make a living is why we can't be free. Yeah. It's because they understand we don't have access to be able to create a living for ourselves. That's why I'm such a big proponent on we need to figure out how to utilize the internet and the real estate of the internet to be able to, enlarge our territory and teach young Black men and women how to make a living through commerce. Because
so do you really think that capitalism is the way out of this? Do you really think that?
I do not think. I don't think so. I think there's a socio-capitalistic way out of all of this. I don't think that pure me on top of you is the way out, because some people don't want to create, they just want to do. Some people want to create and not do, so you have to have space for everybody, and the only thing that creates that space is competition. Because if you do hamburgers and I do hamburgers, but I don't eat cheese and you eat cheese, we need to make two separate shops. But that don't mean that we can't both teach people in our communities how to scale hamburger shops. You know what I mean? But it's just, there's not a lot of business going on around us. And if it ain't no business going on around us, we can't create freedom for ourselves because we can't defend ourselves. We don't have any means to be able to break free. I was listening to a Malcolm X speech today. And he was talking about that, during the Ballad of the Bullet speech, about how we need to be able, right, to, he was saying, it don't matter what your religion is, whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, Black nationalism should be your social economic philosophy. And that means making sure that we have our own stuff, that we can use to empower our own communities
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. But like Carter G. Woodson said, that starts with being able to make a living for yourself. And we don't got that. I know a lot of brothers and sisters who got hella degrees, they got a lot of debt, and they ain't made no money. But they well learned though. Well learned. But they don't got nothing. And they die with nothing. So like you feel me? Like what really happened here was you went and indebted yourself to these white people for this knowledge that wasn't actually applicable to you being able to make a living for yourself without having to go to someone else and say, see my value and please pay me money so that I can live. So they made it so that we would be dependent on other people to be able to provide a living for us instead of us being able to make it on our own. And that is why we're constantly like void of freedom, because we are literally, like Malcolm X said, we are literally modern slaves.
Yeah, that's capitalism.
Yeah. But in our community, it has to be socio-capitalistic, because we can't just tell everybody to be owners, and then we can't.
Well, I'm saying also that slave and modern slavery is capitalism. Capitalism created that modern slavery system. That's why I'm like, is the system that we in, the system is going to take us out of it, you know? I don't know.
I think that I always imagine that. I always imagine like, man, dog, what would it have been like if we integrated? We would still be fighting white people. You know what I mean?
Oh, I was listening to Malcolm X today too. He was having a debate. It was him and what's this guy's name? The guy that his Netflix documentary. What's his name? Ranston. What's his name? Rustin. I said
Bayer.
I said Ranston.
Bayer. So I don't know much about Bayer Rustin's like black philosophy.
Well, he was arguing for integration in Malcolm X. I didn't finish it, but I was an hour in. But Malcolm was arguing against it, and one thing Bayer said is that it's like arguing against integration is like arguing for slavery, and it's like interesting that we're talking about how now we're in this system, and that's the modern slavery, and Malcolm X was talking about basically like what we need, like how you were saying, he was making that same point in that conversation that what we need is like our own jobs and things like that. So he was arguing for it, you know, like we can stay separate, you know, like it's not about integrating. So I think it's really interesting now because, you know, we're seeing the effects of the debate, you know, now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
effects, but like the predictions of the debate.
I mean, because we see like that, you know, everybody always talks about like Martin Luther King's shift, right? From like all together now to like let me go and help like just the black people, right? Like in Bayer Rustin, his life experience was a little different, right? He was a gay man during that time. Like, what is that? How does that shape your perception as far as like what your life looks like around other Negroes who aren't like socially accepting of like who you are as a person?
And like, because as a gay man at that time, the only relationships you kind of could have was outside the community.
You know what I mean?
Sad.
Like, so like for him in his mind, would it have been better for us to be able to integrate so that I could be in a more positive, safe environment away from people who are chastising me for who I love and stuff like that? Like, though personally that is a valid like observation, what does that do for the race? Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? And we do, like, as a race, need to learn how to be like more loving and accepting about like what people choose to do. But like when we are, right, like going back to your point about sacrifices, when we are thinking about like this broader strategy for like for the group, right, like our individual wants like kind of have to take a seat.
But wouldn't it just be easier for people to accept other people? Wouldn't that just be easier?
It would, but that's not real.
So is it not real also then to expect people to put aside their desires, their natural desires?
I think
is that less you know, because
Well,
people are going to always desire what they want, and they're going to. I mean, that's a bigger sacrifice.
Niggas got bit by dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They got sprayed by water hoses.
Yeah.
Like they walked 30
but those people were gay too.
I'm saying like,
So,
but they all
it's
like,
not like niggas did it by themselves.
But we have an example
they were
of people
diverse
who put their personal wants to the side for the collective mission.
Yes.
Like, so I do think that like if it is presented in a way that signals that this is going to be beneficial for me in the long run, and I can see the point in this, then yes.
Okay. So, but the sacrifice, right? Okay. There's a sacrifice needs to be made. But wouldn't it be easier to sacrifice your disdain for someone who's of same-sex loving than it is to ask the person who's a same-sex lover to sacrifice their desires? Which one is an easier sacrifice? I think it's the question I'm asking, because one of them seems way more unrealistic than the other.
I think they're both unrealistic because the person who is being asked to like, okay, so like my thing is in this equation is be black first then gay.
I mean, and then, you have no choice.
Right, but right, like I have had arguments with like black people who identify with the other parts of them before they identify with their blackness. So, and what I like, and that is the disconnect, is so like it is like you want me to think about my race, but I'm thinking about my humanity. Right? And my humanity comes before my race. But we are a oppressed people whose humanity has been stricken from us because of our race. So, like, right, like which thing are we gonna do first? I think that's my thing. Which one are we gonna do first?
It's really hard to say those things because, like, for example, as a woman, when I walk in a room full of black people, it's no longer race first. I'm in a room with we're already in help me out. Space.
Homogeneous. Is it homogeneous or homogeneous? I think homogeneous is fancy.
Yes. We're in a homogeneous space. So to say put your race first, I'm in a we're all black here.
But that's a different battle.
So then I mean, but in order for us to get through that battle, in order for us to fight, we're gonna have to get together. So when we're in this room together, our issues are loud.
I mean, it's true. I mean, but I think it's the same for like adulterers, right? Like everybody who's doing something that other people think they shouldn't be doing, right? Like all of that, to me, I don't care what the perceived sin is.
We put a lot of what Martin Luther King did to the side.
That's what I'm saying.
Put that to the, but so that's the sacrifice.
Like, but put it to the side.
It's easier for people to sacrifice their feelings about someone being same sex, because that's what you're saying right now, than it is to ask the person from the same sex to say that they're not gonna that stuff.
Well, no, so I think in the context of Bayard and his argument for integration and Malcolm saying we need to
I see what you're saying.
Fix this first.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like in that, because we did. They, you know, like churches put a lot of stuff aside for their leaders, right? You know what I mean? Like we got to keep the figurehead together, right? And I'm thinking that, right, like we need to, right, white power. You see all of them, it don't matter how fucking crazy that shit gets. It's white power. So take a page, black power, black nationalism, black money, black health, black children, black family. If I'm gay black, if I'm tall black, if I'm trans black, if I'm Muslim black, if I'm atheist black, I don't give a damn what you are black in. You black.
Yeah.
So let's all get our black asses together and fight for blackness.
I think they do. I think they do come together and fight for us. It's just, I don't think Bayard would be advocating for that though. If that, when we were in that room together, those issues weren't loud.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel as if, like, we have people who are, you know, standing up for us now, who be championing for us now. You know, but they sit there and they say things like, you know, trans lives don't matter. But the reason why we was even screaming Black Lives Matter is because you know, you had this collective people who are queer, you know, advocating. We can talk about Black Lives Matter and whatever faults or whatever, but the point of it being is that queer people have always stood on the lines.
Very true.
They have always stood on the lines and have always been a part of the movement. And so I think there's like just too much of like this conversation about agendas and co-opting and things like that, when trans people, gay people, queer people have always been on the front lines. It hasn't been a co-op. It's only a co-op, and it's because of that division that comes in because people disagree. And maybe we can put that to the side, that disagreement to the side, then maybe we can move way faster than what we're doing now. And also greed too. I think the biggest issue is within the Black community. It's not that there was a co-op of like gay rights. I think it was just really greed. You have people wanting to make money off of the movement.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a huge thing.
That was a bigger issue than the gay people, but I don't think people talk about that enough.
Well, I think the social things are a different kind of healing that we as a community have to go through. But I think if we're thinking about this like in a war context, I don't give a damn what your sexual orientation is.
I would hope not.
Are you sitting there while we shooting this gun?
I would hope not.
So like
and that's the point.
So, but in this time though, like in that time, right, like that, and I'm thinking like, you know, like to argue for integration, right? Like, cause it is insane to me in that time to want to go and force a people who have such things for you to be like,
Malcolm X called it a contradiction.
Let me sit by you.
I mean, hypocrisy.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Let me sit by you. Let me sit here. And they're like, no, fuck you. Don't fucking sit here. They're like, you gonna let me sit here. You let me sit here is right. And they're like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want you here.
Yeah.
And then they come and go, well, I'm here now. Be nice to me. How the fuck does that work?
Yeah. That's the hypocrisy there.
It don't even make sense. Like, they don't like you.
Yeah.
They don't want you here. Like, watching the thing on the people in West Virginia, they're like, we don't want no niggas around here. There's a bunch of places where there's been white people who ain't never seen a nigga ever in their life outside of the TV. And they like it like that. They had rules in Oregon for a long time where you could not be black in the state. And it's one of the most beautiful states in the country.
It is. Yeah. And that's still tripping me out because it's the West and it's supposed to be.
Nah, bro, that's why they did the Mormon shit. They went up there, they was having more. They was wilding. Them white people was wilding out there. They went up to the Northwest to trip the fuck out. They didn't go up there because they was trying to be upstanding citizens. They wanted to go out there and do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. And it was a long horse ride over there. What's the dude that started the Mormon church? He was at war with the government. They don't talk about that. He was in Utah killing Indians, killing Native Americans, killing them and fighting the government so he can have wives.
Young wives too.
Yeah, we can do this all night.
Yes, I did that again with my baby.
Y'all, this was a great conversation. I want you to remember a couple things. The Klan has rebranded. Instead of having a Grand Wizard, they have a national director.
They're getting a C-suite, y'all.
That's the first thing. The second thing, ICE is shooting niggas. All right? Just stop. Put your hands up, bro. Everybody act like Negroes. Put your hands up. Show them that you are not a threat. Don't move, or they're going to shoot you in your damn face. That's number 2. Number 3, white people are done apologizing for being white. They're over it. So watch your ass when you go into these white-dominated spaces and you feel like I deserve to be here. They don't give a fuck. There are some white people who are going to be nice to you. But if you go in these places, you YouTubers and all these different people going to these places, like the white people, the young white men who going into the hood, trying to do these pranks on these hood niggas, watch yourself. They're going to hurt you. It's not like that right now.
Yeah.
It's not like that. They're going to hurt you. These people are not right in the head. They're unhinged. Just read the news. And listen to Malcolm X. Read Carter Woodson. Read anything that you can read that will teach you more about being black.
Also, The People's History of America, Howard Zinn.
Please read. We're gonna start
Baker's Rebellion.
Start next week. I'm gonna start putting up. I'm gonna put a book list up. Me and CiErra we're gonna create a book list
and podcast.
Book list and podcast. And next week, instead of me showing off my haircut, which looks really good. You know what I'm saying? Book with Haircut Joe, from Clark's Finest. You can scan the QR code and you'll be able to, get you some books on black education and blackness. And I would like to make a disclaimer. I don't dislike nobody. And me being like super pro-black has nothing to do with your whiteness or your ability to exist as a white person, Asian person, Latino person, none of that. This is me advocating for people who look like me, who had a similar life experience as mine, and I think it should be something that is highlighted amongst our people. And if you are somebody who is an ally to our people, this should be something that should be pleasing to your ears and not disheartening to your spirit.
Yeah.
You got anything else to add?
Yeah, because I would hate for my job to see this and think I'm against. No.
CiErra is not against anybody.
No, I'm not.
CiErra is
I
one of
actually
the...
think a rebel coalition would have worked if, what's the name wasn't murked. But
I'm the exact opposite. I mean, I totally think that allies are needed.
That's what I'm saying.
I think this is an internal black problem from the way that like fundamentalist religions have co-opted the brains of all of us, and like we don't really think for ourselves.
You think there needs to be a paradigm shift within black people for us to like move forward?
Yes, because we have this like, nigga, you want to go fly a plane?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like we got that going on.
That's why you're saying it needs to be.
It's something like we got to heal in the community first. Like I hear them talk about that on the Grits and Neds podcast all the time.
Yeah.
Like we got to heal within the community first. There's no.
Grand happening would have been murked if we had that healing. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like coalition didn't happen.
Because like it's people who don't have our best interests at heart who can tap weaker people in our community and be like, hey, diamonds and gold, here goes some money. Yeah. And then they'll sell out.
Yeah.
Them niggas gotta go.
Yeah. Which was the real agenda, not gay agenda. Real agenda is
they gotta go.
Profit from the movement.
Yeah, they gotta go.
You can't be trying to get profit out the movement, y'all.
They got to go.
I think that's my message.
Can't be profited out the movement.
No.
Martin Luther King did not die a rich man.
No. Neither
Neither did Malcolm X. No, I can't say that for the pastors that I admire. They came up. The boys came up.
But we cannot profit from
the movement. But you shouldn't profit from the movement. You should not profit from the movement. It should be holistic. It should be for black people, by black people, for the love of black people. And if that ain't what you want, like, don't listen to me no more.
Yeah. You ain't gonna like it here.
You're not gonna like it over here. Nah, hell no. But this was great, man. I appreciate it. I actually feel a lot more free on the podcast now.
Yeah, I feel bad that I didn't do my meeting today. Send an email out. Like,
it's
hey,
okay.
We're
going to do better. We're going to work harder. It's 2026. We just trying to wake up some souls. Shake the table, baby. Shake the table.
Yes.
Living like Jesus. Yo, we finna get up out of here. Love, laughter, and learning. I hope you found some love in this podcast. I hope you laughed a little bit because I'm fucking hilarious. And I hope you learned something. Especially something that makes you so proud to be black that you want to scream it to the fucking mountaintops. Black people! Oh, we out of here.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.